Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a cozy pair of chunky slippers. These are great for wearing around the house and also just to keep your feet warm in those cold winter months. For this project, you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm going to be using a 5.5mm hook today. You'll also need some yarn. I'm using some chunky yarns today. So this one is about a number 5. This is a cotton. And then I'm going to be using 3 strands that are a little bit thinner. These are maybe a number 2 each, so altogether it's about a 5 or a 6, and I'm going to be using 2 different shades of blue. Light blue for the toe, and then the combination for the rest of the foot. You'll also need some scissors, as well as a yarn needle to weave in your ends. So gather your supplies, and let's jump in. We're going to be starting today with the light blue yarn. First things first, create a slip knot. From here, chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then in the 3rd chain from the hook, 1, 2, and 3, we're going to do a slip knot to create a round. Now we've got a little donut. From here, chain 2, 1 and 2. Now into that donut, into the center of those 3 chain stitches, we are going to complete 8 double crochets. The chain 2 will count as an additional double crochet for a total of 9 double crochets in the round. So there's our first 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9. Now that I've got my 8 double crochets and my chain 2, I'm going to join the round at the top of the chain 2 with a slip stitch. And there we go. There's round number 1. For round number 2, we're going to begin with a chain of 2. Chain 1, chain 2. Then at the base of that chain 2, in the big space between the stitches, so in this big hole here, we're going to put 2 double crochets. There's 1, and there's 2. Then in this space here, the next space between 2 stitches, we're going to insert 2 double crochets. There's 1, and there's 2. We're going to be putting 2 double crochets in between each of the big spaces all the way around. At the end of round number 2, you should have 18 stitches. That's 17 double crochets and the chain 2 that you started the round with. I'm going to zoom through the rest of round number 2, and I'll meet you at the end to show you joining the round. Here I am at the end of round number 2. I've got 16 double crochets so far, 17 if you include the chain 2. So I'm going to finish round number 2 by putting my final double crochet in the same space that the chain 2 came out of, and then I'm going to join the round with a slip stitch. And there's round number 2. Now for round number 3, we're going to start with a chain 2. There's 1 and 2. In the first stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet. And then in the second stitch, you can see we've got 2 double crochets coming out of 1 space. In that space, we're going to put 2 double crochets. There's 1, and there's 2. Now in the next space, we're going to just put 1 double crochet. In the following stitch, you can see there's 2 double crochets coming out of 1 spot. We're going to put 2 double crochets in that space. There's 1, and there's 2. And we're going to repeat that all the way around for round number 3. 1 double crochet in 1 stitch, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 in 1 stitch, 2 in the next. At the end of round number 3, you should have 27 stitches in your round, 26 double crochets, and your chain 2. I'm going to zoom through the rest of round number 3, and I'll see you when I get to the end, when it's time to join. Here I am at the end of round number 3. I'm going to put my last double crochet into the same space that the chain 2 came out of, and then I'm going to join my round with a slip stitch. For round number 4, we're going to begin with a chain of 2. From here, we're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. From round number 4 all the way up to round number 8, we're going to do the same thing. 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So from round number 4 all the way to round number 8, you're going to maintain a 27 stitch round, and I'm just going to zoom through these rounds because they are just the same double crochet over and over and over, and I will see you when we get to the end of round number 8 to show you what we're going to do next to work on this slipper. Here I am at the end of round number 8. I'm just putting my last double crochet in there, and now I'm going to switch colors to my darker set of yarns. So for this part, I'm going to do my slip stitch to join the round with both yarns, the new yarn and the old yarn. And then I'm going to drop all of my tails, old yarn and new yarn. And with just the new yarn, I'm going to chain 2. Now for round number 9, I'm going to do one more round where I just put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So nothing special for this one, but we did change the yarn color for round number 9, double crochet around. I'm going to zoom through this round and I will see you at the end to show you what we're going to do to start shaping the foot. Here I am coming up to the end of round number 9. I'll just put my last double crochet in there, and then I'm going to join for round number 10 with a slip stitch just like that. And then for round number 10, I'm going to start with a chain 2, and then I'm going to double crochet around, but I'm going to leave the last 7 stitches unworked. So double crochet around the round until there are 7 stitches left to double crochet, and I will meet you when there are 7 stitches left in my round. Here I am in round 10. There are 7 stitches left in my round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna put my last double crochet in, and now there are 7 empty spaces. This is the top of our little booty. So from here, for round number 11, let's call them rows now. Row number 11, we're gonna start with a chain 2, and now we're gonna turn the work. We're not gonna be working this open area. We're just gonna be working a row of 20 back and forth. So I'm going to put my double crochets in, and I am going to work across for row number 11, just 1 double crochet in each stitch across. Actually, for row number 11 all the way up to row number 18, we're going to be doing the exact same thing. Just double crochet across, at the end of each row, chain 2 and turn. I'm gonna zoom through these rows because it's just 20 stitches double crocheted across, and I will see you when I get to the end of row number 18 to show you how we're going to do some heel shaping on this booty. Here I am at the end of row number 18. I'm gonna put my last double crochet in there. And now for row number 19, we're gonna start with a chain of 2. 1, and 2. Then I'm going to turn the work. Now we are going to be crocheting into the first 8 stitches as normal. So I'm going to do 8 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 8. Now in the next 2 stitches, we're going to double crochet 2 together. So I'm going to yarn over, insert the hook into the work and pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Now I've got 4 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 3 of the loops, and then yarn over and pull through the remaining loops. That's double crochet 2 together. I'm going to do the same thing in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert the hook and pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch and pull up a loop, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 of the loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Now there should be 8 stitches left in the row. I'm going to double crochet 1 time in each of the next 8 stitches. Here I am at the end of row number 19. I'm going to put my last double crochet in and then chain 2 and turn. So this is where we're beginning our heel shaping. You'll see this sort of curve up as we continue with the rows. So for row number 20, we're going to double crochet until we reach these double crochet 2 together stitches. 1, 2, and 7. And now in the 8th and 9th stitch, we're going to double crochet these 2 together. So we double crocheted into the first 7 stitches. Now in the next 3 spaces, we're going to double crochet 3 together. The one before our double crochet 2 together, the one in between it, and then the one after it. We're going to combine those all into 1 stitch. So to do that, we're going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop. And now we've got 5 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 4 of those loops, 2 loops left on the hook, yarn over, and pull through the remaining 2 loops. That was double crochet 3 together. Now there should be 7 double crochet stitches left in the row, so double crochet to the end of the row. And at the end of row number 20, chain 2 and turn. Here I am at the end of row number 20. I'm going to put my last double crochet in, chain 1, chain 2, and then I'm going to turn the work. Now we're going to double crochet until we get to the stitch where those double crochet 3 together begins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now in these 2 stitches, we're going to double crochet 2 together, the stitch before and the stitch after, or the space before and after rather. So I'm going to yarn over, insert into the space and pull up a loop, insert into the next space and pull up a loop. There's 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3 of those loops, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 loops. Now we've got 2 together. Now there should be 7 stitches left in the row, so I'm going to put 7 more double crochets in. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for row number 21. And now for row number 22, I'm going to start with a chain 2 and turn. You can see this is starting to curve the work upward, and that's making it into our little heel. Now for row number 22, we're going to double crochet in the first 6 double crochet stitches, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in the next 2 spaces, we're going to double crochet 2 together. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, insert in the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. And then we'll double crochet to the end of the row. There should be 6 stitches left in your row. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now for row number 23, we're going to start with a chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet into the first 6 stitches. 1, 2, and 6. And then in the next 2 spaces, we're going to double crochet 2 together again. Then there should be 6 stitches left in the row, and we're just going to double crochet to the end of the row. This is our last row with decreases. At this point, our booty is about 11 inches long. It does stretch quite a bit. If you've got someone who's got a significantly larger foot, you're gonna want to continue adding rows in that block of straight stitches. So this is basically our heel for the project. So between round number 10 and number 18, that's where you can add additional rows. So you can go up to row number 20 if you've got someone with a large foot. That being said, since this is crocheted work, it does have quite a good amount of stretch to it. So I would consider this size an adult size. Now it's time for us to do up the back seam of our little booty. So to do that, I am going to insert my hook into the middle of the stitch, the first stitch that is. I've taken it out of the working yarn. I'm going to insert it into the first space on the one side and then into the first space on the second side. I've folded it over onto itself. Then I'm going to loop my working yarn over and I'm going to pull that working loop through both of those spaces and then chain 1. Now I'm going to single crochet across this row. I'm going to single crochet both pieces together. So in the spaces, I'm going to insert my hook and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the loops. Insert, and I'm going through both pieces of fabric again, and just single crochet down this little row. And here we are at the end of the row, putting my last single crochet in, and then I'm going to chain 1 and turn this short row because we want our working yarn back up at the top of the foot so that we can do our rounds around the ankle. So for this row, we're just going to slip stitch up to the work again. So I'm going to put 1 slip stitch in each of those single crochets until we get to the top of the work. And our last one is going to be a little snug 6. And then from here we can pull that loop large and we're going to turn the work inside out. Please excuse the sounds of my birds. They are feeling a little bit chatty this morning, and you can't really stop a bird from singing. It's just not possible. All right, now that we've got that right side out, the seam is now hidden on the inside of the booty, and now we can pick up our working loop again. Now to begin this first round around the ankle of the work, we're going to begin by doing a chain 2. 1 and 2. Now I'm going to put a double crochet in each of the rows all the way down. So we're going to be putting it in the first stitch of the row, working down to the corner of the top of the foot. And I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in each one. Okay, so I've made it to the corner where our row changes direction. Now in this corner stitch, so here's the row that we've just finished putting a stitch in, and we're going to end up starting in this row. There's a corner stitch here. We're going to put 1 double crochet into that corner stitch. And now we're going to switch direction, and we're going to put a stitch into the first stitch of this row. And we're going to work across this short front row until we reach the second corner. And here we are at the second corner. I'll put my last double crochet into my short row, and then we're going to put a double crochet into the corner stitch right there. And now we're going to be turning and working up the rows again. And again, I'll put 1 double crochet in each of the first stitch of the row until I make it back to the beginning of the round. All right, here I am at the end of the round. I'll put my last double crochet into the last stitch, and then our chain 2 that we started this round with, we're going to slip stitch that together to create the round. Now we're going to chain 2, and now we're going to be working in front post, back post double crochets to create a ribbed stitch for the opening of the slipper. We're going to begin with a front post double crochet. So we're working behind this entire post. We're going to start by doing a yarn over the hook, then insert the hook behind the entire post like this, pulling the post forward, a front post. Then we're going to yarn over, pull the loop through, and now we've got 3 loops on the hook, and we'll just continue with the regular steps of a double crochet. And you can see that pulls that whole post forward, which is why it's called a front post double crochet. Then after that, we're going to do a back post double crochet. We start with a yarn over again, but this time the hook goes behind the work, coming up through the stitch, and then pulling the post back by coming back down through the following stitch. And then we're going to yarn over again, pull that loop through, 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of them, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. The next stitch will be a front post. So yarn over, insert behind the post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. The next one will be a back post. Yarn over, insert the hook up behind the work, and then back down through the back, yarn over again, pull up that loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. After you do a few of them, you're going to notice that the front post double crochets are being pulled forward and the back post double crochets are being pulled backward. For the rest of this round, I am going to be completing the exact same repeat: front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post, back post, until I get back to the beginning of the round. If you're doing the same size as me, you're going to end up on a front post double crochet. Here I am at the last stitch of the round. I'm going to do my last front post double crochet, and then our chain 2 that we started the round with, when we slip stitch that together, it creates its own back post double crochet. So then we start with a front post, we end with a front post, but where we join the round turns into a back post, which matches up the texture perfectly. We're going to start our next round with a chain of 2, and then we're going to do another round exactly the same way. We're going to front post double crochet into the first stitch, back post double crochet into the next stitch, then front post, then back post, then front post, then back post, and we're going to repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, we're actually going to be done with this tri-colored yarn. So we're going to be doing another color change at the end of the round. Here I am at the end of my round. I'm going to put my last front post double crochet in. And then when I do my slip stitch to join, I'm going to slip stitch. I'm going to trim my yarn here because I want to switch colors to something light so I can finish it in a light color. So I've got this 2-strand thick white and pale blue yarn, I'm going to finish my slip stitch with both yarns, so the old color and the new color. Then I'm going to drop my tails and chain 2. 1 and 2. Now I'm going to do 5 more rounds with the pale blue and white. Same stitch, everything is the same, I'm just doing it in the white and blue to change up the colorway a little bit. So I'm gonna zoom through these last 5 rows and I'll meet you back here when I'm finishing up my 5th row. All right, here I am on the end of my 5th round. This is looking so cute. This is gonna be such a cute little pair of slippers. All right, I've slip stitched together. That is gonna be it. Now I can trim the yarn and I can weave in this end. So I'm just gonna zoom through weaving this end in, and then guess what, friends? They're finished. What do you think? How cute are these little slippers? They look like a giant sock. We did it in the round for the toe, and then we did some straight rows across, some decreases for the heel, and then we did several rows of front post to back post in order to create that cuff at the top. If you want to, you could fold that cuff down. I personally like it up. That way it covers more ankle and keeps my feet warm. Like I said before, these are an adult size. They should fit most adult people. If you're gonna be making them for someone who has much larger feet, you can add some rows in the straight row portion. If you're making them for someone smaller, you may need to make some modifications in the number that you actually increase to. So I did 3 rounds of increases. If you're making them for a child, you might want to only do 2 rounds of increases before following the exact same pattern for the rest of the way. But that's it. They're done. How cute. I am honestly so obsessed. I'm gonna be making a whole bunch of these as Christmas gifts this year. They only took maybe an hour to make, and I think this is gonna be a great option for a good stocking stuffer. Honestly, if you kept going with the front post, back post, you could use this as a stocking. I love them. We have this nice wide foot area so that it's kind of like a cozy slipper. It's thicker than a sock, and I think very comfortable and very cute. But you let me know what you think in the comments down below. And hey, thank you so much for watching. By the way, thank you to everyone who's supporting the channel this month. Here is the list of the channel supporters. Thank you guys. You're awesome. I really appreciate you. And if you would like to show your support for the channel, check out the links in the description down below. Everything to support the channel will be down there, as well as all related tutorials. If you're new to crochet, they will be linked down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!